Welcome back to the Street Mic. Good to see you again. And if you've been following us, you know that we are dedicated to getting stories, finding stories that inspires us. Tonight, I have a very interesting guest again. I'm invited into the space of a young doctor. He's a Ugandan by the name Dr. Musiige, Deo Musiige. So tonight we are in his space and I have lots of questions to ask him. Do you have anything in mind? Let us know in the comment. But for tonight, I'm very privileged to have Dr. Musiige in our episode. So thank you so much. Come with us. Make sure you're part of this journey and always good luck.
Yeah, but the names you know have already introduced me.
Yes.
Yes, but basically I was born in Uganda. Moved to Denmark when I was 16.
Okay.
And basically took the career path of education. Rest of the ranks until I end up with a doctorate in electronics. And and after that I've been through different companies, Nokia, Sennheiser, name it. We have been through all this electronic development, the development of electronic gadgets, from Bluetooth headsets to combat management systems to satellite communication devices. So basically, you can call me an IT expert or electronic expert.
Wow. We are privileged to have an expert today, you know. We always walk in the street, but today you say, let's find an expert in the field. So Doctor, you're very, very welcome to our platform.
Thank you.
For us, this platform is more inspirational, is more motivational. So we want the common man out there on the street, you know, to connect with every angle of life. So we want to know, you became a doctor and you are quite young, you know. I've always seen doctors with the, you know, white hair and you know, you accomplished this quite early in life, you know. What motivated this?
It's basically a virtue of knowing what you want and not settling for the less. Of course I cannot say that I'm any special person or I have any special skills, but I think I would thank the discipline that was imbued in me from when I was a young kid. That's what really matters. Discipline. Normally they say that talent covers 30% and discipline covers 70%.
Wow.
So basically it's discipline and motivation and knowing exactly what you want.
Exactly what you want. Wow. So a little bit about your background. You talked about companies like Nokia and other technological companies that you worked with. Was this after you acquired your qualification as a doctor, or it was something you built along the way?
No, I remember I entered Nokia when I was doing my second year of the masters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I entered Nokia and I actually ended up doing the master's thesis with them, and then they offered me an industrial PhD. So that's where I entered back then. But unfortunately, you know the history about Nokia. They slept in as we say in Danish, that they slept in the lessons.
Yes.
And the iPhone took over.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was my.
So you worked with Nokia till they got out of that position.
Actually, like we were bought off. It's a bit painful because in Nokia we had the best devices, but of course I didn't have the influence to push through my ideas.
Yes.
But basically my advice back then, and basically my colleagues' advices, was that if Nokia had moved from, because back then they were using their operating system called Symbian, so if they had only one device to work on Android, I don't think iPhone would be where it is today.
Okay. Because
Symbian was a very, very, very slow platform, very non-responsive. But then you had iOS and Android that were like very smooth. So basically that was the demise of Nokia. Basically going from selling like the hardware, because when you bought a Nokia phone, you bought like the hardware. This is a Nokia phone. But things moved from buying the hardware to buying a solution.
So when Nokia went down, you transitioned, right?
Yes, yes, of course you have to.
You didn't say where you were.
No, I went into Bluetooth devices. That's where I went into Bluetooth devices, where I was responsible for the development of one of the most selling headsets.
Okay.
Bluetooth and noise cancellation headsets made by Sennheiser. So yes, yeah.
That's a Danish company?
Yeah.
Or you sold the software out?
No, basically Sennheiser.
Yeah.
It was called Sennheiser Communication, which does. It was a joint venture between the Danish company Oticon and Sennheiser in Germany.
Yes.
So here we're basically doing the developments and everything. Where Sennheiser in Germany was responsible for the what do you call it, the logistic part of selling the devices.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so I was.
Is that where you're still working currently?
No. I left after some time.
Story still coming. Let's go.
I was there like some 5 years, and then I went into command control systems for Navy ships. Basically, when you, I don't think something that people know, a common man know, but like islands like Denmark, big countries like US, people, countries with a lot of water sources, people like, especially countries with coasts.
Yeah.
Because like a coast is a borderless. I mean, like a coast has no border.
No.
So all those coasts they have to be controlled and surveyed. Something we call surveillance. So I was in 2 naval ships where we make systems. Imagine like in those ships when it is at sea.
Wow.
It should be able to see everything around it. It should be able to have that situational awareness. And when you have these radars that can detect. Well, I can't tell you the exact kilometers, but it can detect far away from itself.
Yes. That
something's getting to them. So when you detect something, then you, of course, using artificial intelligence, you can know that this is a missile coming to me, or it's a friendly plane, or whatever it is. And when it's a missile or something, or hostile coming towards you, what do? Do you jump in the water?
You know, so one exciting thing, Doctor, I'm really surprised that we have Africans, people of our background, doing these amazing things. And you know, I'm not just saying this because of race or something, but it gives me a lot of courage. Like having somebody like you working in this kind of advanced technologies that we actually need them in Africa, and you know, you are here doing it. It gives us a lot of courage and hope. So for somebody listening out there, you may be young, you may be older, but you want to make decisions that, you know, can go into fields like this. There's somebody who's doing it. Doctor, continue.
Yeah, so where I was yeah, so basically, I was in there doing those command control systems, basically being able to engage hostile targets coming towards those Navy ships.
So right now, what are you working right now?
Right now, I'm in satellite systems.
Satellites?
Satellite systems.
Did I hear well?
Huh?
Satellites?
Yes, satellite systems.
Wow.
So basically, we are making a satellite. I can call it a satellite modem.
Okay.
That can that sits in the plane, because right now on planes you are able to access the internet. So those are the systems.
No longer like those days where you enter the plane and you just turn off your phone.
Yeah. So these days you can access internet. So those are the systems that we are doing in order to provide you internet on planes. And it can also be used for other things. Basically, right now, I need to mind the confidentiality.
The confidential, yeah. But at least we know you're working on something, you know, that is changing the world right now in real time. So thank you for keeping up with us. You know, we're gonna be coming back with a doctor. There's a lot to ask. There's a lot to know. When you have an opportunity like this to talk to somebody who's accomplished and still accomplishing a lot of things, we really want to know. And thank you so much for being on our platform, Street Mic Doctor. We'll be back. Come back.
Thank you.
As we said before, we were just so engaged and enjoying everything. But right now, we have to engage the doctor in things that in the areas that is not involved in, but we would like to have some opinions, from him. And Doctor, I'm more concerned about Africa. The world is, moving very, very fast technologically. You can see China, Europe, Russia, they are really advancing. We have a big challenge when it comes to these areas you're working on. What are you and some of the colleagues that that care about Africa looking forward to doing for Africa right now?
Yes, that's a tough question, because what can we do for Africa? I think that I think it's difficult to put Africa and the whole Africa in the same basket, but I think we can differentiate between. There are progressing countries and there are less progressing countries, but I think fundamentally, whatever we are doing in Europe, we can also do in Africa.
Okay.
Whatever is in Europe can be in Africa. It's a matter of the will. It's a matter of the policies. So whatever we can do, everything's about the will. That's for sure. Because I don't believe that Africa is poor. It's not.
No.
It's management. It's poor management.
Poor management.
It's not. Africa is not poor economically. It's not poor capacity-wise. It's not poor intellectually. It's just poor management.
Okay.
So, so when you, if you could manage the resources better, if you could have policies that are for the people, then everything is possible in Africa. That's damn sure.
Are you willing to go back to Africa and implement something like this, maybe in educational sector, in the private sector, if the policies were right?
Of course. And I have also been on it, because some years back, I don't want to push some people out there, but some years back, through a friend, I went to one, I think it's kind of an IT university in an African country. So
okay.
I engaged them, and my thing was that I'm from the industry.
Yes.
I know what we want. I know which competencies that are selling in the industry. So I went to them and I told them that I could offer my services coming from the industry.
Okay.
And I have a good network in the industry, because in the companies we work in, we are having all the competencies IT-wise.
Yes.
From software, hardware, whatever, we have all the competencies.
Yeah.
So my advice to the university was that let us help them in streamlining their syllabuses.
Okay.
Whereby we tell them that okay, you've been teaching this, okay, but in the next 5 years, start teaching this. Then of course the students, they're gonna be more marketable.
Yes.
Those are services that we offered, but unfortunately, I never heard from them again.
Never heard from them again.
So basically, we are willing to help. But one thing that in order to help somebody needs to recognize that they need help.
Yes.
And also, given that the policies in the country, they must be. There must be policies that are enabling help. But per se, I don't think that it's coming from the top. It's coming from the top. Because if you have a university and you put conditions towards that university,
yes,
they are simple things. If you are putting money into a department, tell them that okay, each year I want you to publish at least 10 papers in given conferences or in given journals.
Yes.
When you publish, basically you are publishing your innovation. So it means that the university can innovate something.
Yeah.
But I don't know, somebody can go to IEEE where we put our electronic papers, and let me find people from Uganda. So I'll be very glad. But basically, that everything's about policies. Everything's about the will. Wow. Because Africa is not poor. Africa is not. It's not poor neither intellectually, capacity-wise. People are there willing to work, but if there are no policies that can build the nation, then basically you're left. It's unfortunate that you see that graduates going to Middle East work as slaves.
Yeah. Wow.
When in this modern day, because why don't you build on that human capital?
Exactly. So for me, I told you I'm going to be taking you out of the areas that you're not directly involved. I'm from Uganda recently, so I vividly remember, issues like, when it comes to cyberspace, like data. Uganda, I don't know what the other countries across, but Uganda is very expensive for an average person to even access Google, The data they have is only for WhatsApp and Facebook. What do you think can be done, to get access to information, quite cheaper?
I don't know if it's deliberate, but I find it very. It's sad.
Yes.
Because on Facebook, WhatsApp, and all that, there's, of course, you are having all these, actually, I call it nonsense or non-building stuff.
Yeah.
Bloggers yelling day and night things that are not building any capacity here or there.
It's accessible.
Yeah, but I think it's very unfortunate that the internet should be accessible to everybody. Why are you having the taxes on the internet?
Yeah.
Why? For what purpose? You should not be having taxes on the internet.
So
there are so many other avenues to tax. Why internet?
Why internet?
If internet is expensive because of the taxes, remove the taxes.
Right.
Even make it free at universities so that people can do research. Why? It is very silly. Everything's about management.
True.
So when you think about, when you look at a country like Uganda, you can see money being spent in so many ridiculous ways. Take for example that when you are in Kampala, you see just a minister or whatever RDC moving out in a convoy of 3-4 cars. Do you know how much data the fuel in those cars can buy for university students?
Yes.
So everything's about managing. Everything's about doing. At times I wonder that's why I thought that Africa is not poor.
No.
It's just poor management, because there are so many things that can be done differently. You have just mentioned the data. Data must be free. Here at the campuses, internet is free. When you enter campus, internet is free. It should.
And that's why people have access to information, and they can go deep in research and do things, because internet is where all the information is gathered now.
Exactly. Yeah. So you cannot. That's why I tell that. Africans, they have the capacity to do what we do in Europe, but because they are limited by the resources they are having, they are limited by the policies that are around. So that makes it very tough for them, because especially Africans, especially in Uganda, where I know very much, people are pretty smart, but it will take the will.
You're an example
of the.
Oh yeah.
It will take the will of the people that are controlling the country to do better. Yeah. Do better for the people, right. Because people are pretty smart. People are pretty smart.
Thank you for addressing this. This has been my major issue, because it's very, very expensive for the people just to access information. And I remember around early 2000 or something like that, internet was supposed to be a human right. People were saying it was supposed to be free. Then all of a sudden it became so expensive, and now we're even kind of closing some avenues of getting information. Like if people can access Google, now people are in technology like ChatGPT. And other innovations that are taking the world so fast ahead, but we are still people are still giving grants for things like as I said, ministers, bodyguards and stuff like that. We need to improve human capacity. So thank you so much for addressing this, and we'll be back. We still have 1 or 2 more questions for the doctor, and we conclude there. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome back again, and as we run this to a conclusion, we want to know how the doctor feel about technology coming into technology and politics? How does technology blend with politics?
Okay. Oh wow! I wish it. I wish it could have been for the good, but basically, technology is getting the worst out of politics. That we saw in the last presidential elections. Now, I think it was the presidential elections between Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
Where some say the Russians, some say it wasn't. Where somebody can actually go create a community and then incite people into a different direction.
Yes.
Fake news and all that. So so we really have to mind how technology is affecting people's minds, and how people are using technology to basically brainwash people.
Should they be scared?
Not scared per se, but we need to be aware.
Be aware.
We need to be aware. We need to make policies that are pushing us towards using technology for the good and not for the bad, because like everything can be used for the good and for the bad. So
yeah. Sorry, I was just trying to ask, you're in the field right now. Is there any technology that you think is going to change the world of tomorrow, or from today tomorrow, that we're not even thinking about it? Is there one or two technologies can let us start looking for it?
No, of course we know AI.
AI
is a beast that has come to stay.
Artificial intelligence. Yeah.
It's a beast that have come to stay.
Yeah.
Basically, I think the coming 5 years are going to be very fundamental in the way we live our lives.
5 years?
Yeah, the next 5 to 10 years, they're going to be very fundamental.
Wow.
Because going from the field of just sitting in your car and telling it, take me to work.
Yeah.
You just sit behind and ask it to take you to work.
Wow.
Those are the things that we're going to be looking at somehow. Knowing when you're at work, like starting the cookers and that by itself, basically having these intelligent systems around ourselves. That's the system that we are getting into. Yeah.
You hear it first from the street. The doctor is proposing AI, he's saying it's already here. We need to look for the AI where it is, but it's here. Doctor, thank you so much for today, and been really, really great with you. But before we leave you, we want to know, a few things about you, your qualification, amazing, everything. But we want to know, what are some of the contributions you're making in your community outside your field of qualification?
For me, I'm mainly for what I really burn for is capacity building. Basically, I think the best thing that you can, in my view, the best thing I can leave behind is having people that I've touched. So that's why I'm here with you.
Yeah.
And I'm the person that really do career guidance and business guidance, because of course, apart from what I'm doing, I'm also a very known investor. I am in for helping in each way that I can help. Through the community-wise, I mean, we've been pushing in order to have the young generation somehow having them in a way where they can have their minds straight.
Yes.
And that we did start a football club some years back.
You started a football club?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't say that I did it by myself.
You were in the, okay.
Yes, but we started some years back in Copenhagen and still running.
Okay, yeah.
So I did my part, and I forwarded the new management, and it's still moving. So the idea wasn't just a football club, but a place where people can meet and exchange ideas.
Wow.
A place where people can a place where people can be taken off the street instead of an idle mind. That's the most dangerous mind.
Wow.
So when you keep the mind preoccupied, that's the best thing. Basically, having a social network, that's the first place to go. But ideally, if you look at all the boys that started there 10 years ago, everybody's doing something. Everybody has a career. Everybody is either an education finished working or...
Well, in conclusion, we want to thank the doctor for welcoming us in his house and giving us, a lot of time and a lot of advice. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot, and you're always welcome. And I want to commend you on the good job you're doing, especially creating awareness and inspiring the young generation. That's very good, because it's very important that we keep on building the capacity of the youth generation, basically showing them that things are possible. It's always good to know that somebody looking like me has done it before. So for us growing up, it was difficult to see in these communities. It was difficult to see somebody that we could mirror ourselves in.
Yes.
So I think my purpose of being here is showing people that, okay, things are possible. Things are possible. You can do whatever you want to do. You can study as much as you want. You can live where you want to live. You can basically, the sky is the limit.
Wow.
So basically, thank you for showing people that things are possible.
You are welcome too. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
And yes, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please go and subscribe. Set on your notification bell, because this kind of content, if you miss real life. And share, comment, like, let people know out there that we're doing something great. We're gonna meet in the next episode, but before we leave, we'd like to say go to the Play Store and App Store, check in with Connect Up. Connect Up is the one powering all these episodes we're doing. They take us all through the streets of the world, bringing guests like you have just had today. So thank you so much, and thank you for appreciating our work. Have a good time. Till we meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.